So this is gonna be my rant, and I think this is something people can definitely relate to, because I'm gonna talk about love and then the misconceptions of love, right? And there's a problem with the way we view love today in society. So let's address the obvious, right? Yo, soldier. Hi guys, how you guys doing? So the common conception of love is this, right? Love is looked at like some type of object, some type of goal, right? Well, there's a problem with looking at love as that type of way, right? I will definitely make dua for you. Ajina, soldier. Yes, that's me. So looking at love, we always look at love as an object, a desire, a goal, but there's a couple problems with that. One, it allows for a lot of attachment and unnecessary pain, you could say. But if we look at love as a movement, right, rather than a goal, then we broaden our minds here. Because if you think about it, right, when people talk about, I'm searching for love, but if you look at love as a movement, then you're already within that movement. Love is already there. What people are asking for when they're searching for love is they're asking for a specific form of love, right? They want a specific form, but in reality, if you look at love as a movement, then really there is no form. There is just a continuous creation. Something I would call like creative love, right? This possibilities. If you realize you're caught in the movement of love, right? In the movement of all your desires, then you become aware of the movement, right? And you appreciate it, right? So when you experience pain for someone not loving you, for example, this would be an attachment to a form. But if love is a movement, right, then love is always going. It's always passing by, essentially. And the pain results in this unawareness of acknowledging the movement of love itself, right? So in essence, right, if love is a continuous movement, then you kind of bringing this attachment into it stops you from enjoying the movement of love. And I think that's a lot of the problems with society today, is because we look at love as like this type of objective goal that we must pursue or have, like a kind of end state, right? But in reality, if we look at love as a movement, then we already within the movement itself. And this allows for you to create, enjoy life, use love as a sort of creative force for something. And I guess if we go more into like the more etymology of the word love, right, what love means, if you think about it, right, well, love by definition can mean a variety of emotions, right? Love is a variety of emotions in a sense. But if you think about it, if we say love is a feeling, a sense, right? Just think about the way you think and express thought. Every time you express a thought, it's rooted in a feeling, right? A feeling seeks expression in thought. So in this case, right, if we say love is a feeling that expresses itself in thought, then in a way we're always expressing love, right? And it just results from our own being, our own thinking. But I think the point that I'm really trying to hammer home here is that if we look at love as a movement rather than a sort of end state, right, and this causes for, you could say, a sort of suffering, right? Looking at love as a movement is the best way to approach it, because then you realize that there is no end state for love. It is always going, right? There's always a direction it must go. And so when people get heartbroken over a specific form of love, their faulty thinking resulted from the fact that they perceived a specific form of love to be that end state, when in fact that specific end state of love was a false knowing, right? So love as a movement, as a continuous creation of possibilities, that's what would really how do I say this, enlighten people's perspective. And I think that's maybe an important concept to share with you guys. Not a lot of people take time, I don't think, to really go into the etymology of, love, and what the word love and what that means, or people are always searching for love, but they don't realize they're within the movement of love. So in essence, searching is pointless. You already have found it. It's just you need to realize the awareness of the movement of love itself, and then you can engage in its possibilities and its creativity. This, I believe, is the maybe philosophy of love that we should encounter, enjoy, or pursue, rather than having a single-minded goal of searching for love. And then this kind of idea of finding love is also kind of a misrepresentation, because you're already within the movement, in the sense, right? There's nothing to be found and there's nothing to be searched for. It's all within its own being. So I will end there. I think that's my my rant. My rant will be good enough for that. I think that's just some of the thoughts I've been having about love, and the some of the faulty conceptions, or maybe just the modern conception, modern notion of love today, where it's become a goal, a sort of seeking, but in this way there's nothing to be sought, right? The idea of love is the journey itself, right? And when you realize it is the journey itself, and then that you are that journey, then this idea of love really, you begin to, I think, if you embrace this philosophy, you begin to enjoy life more, right? It's more cherishing for an individual. You're not obsessed with a singular notion of love, right? Like this, we have this in modern times, we have like this mistake where we're obsessed with, being not single, or scared of being single, and obsessed with being taken, and all this other stuff. And we assume that if we are taken, if we're not single, then we have sort of satisfied that criteria of finding love and all this other stuff. But anyways, I'm just ranting on at this point, but that's really all I had to say. There's just some of the thoughts I've been having for the past maybe week or so. This idea of love as a movement rather than a end state, or maybe a goal, is a more fruitful ideology to have. Realizing that you are within the movement, so there is nothing to be sought, only lived. Right? It's the experience that we're all aiming for here. That's what we all want. So, all right, I will leave it there. Bye, guys.